This is Ice Cream Gecko, and in today's video we're going to take a look at the Ahoi-Brause Überraschungsmix, the surprise mix. This is ice cream on a stick. Well, it's pop ice on a stick, flavored water ice on a stick, something like that. It's not really all that creamy, I don't think. And we've got two flavors on one of these little popsicles, and we're going to see if we can get both of those versions in this review. This is already open. I'm not the first one to get to this package, and I actually had one of these previously before I turned on the camera. And yeah, I've got to say that I wasn't, too impressed with it, but I only had one of them. So let's see, maybe the other one is much better. So previously I had some Ahoi-Brause ice cream, these little ice cream tubs that were kind of sour and stuff. Very interesting. Okay, it's a bit difficult to get out of here. This is, I assume, the orange and the citrus flavor, or the lemon flavor. Let's take another one, see how, or which one this is. Now my fingers are all slippery. Oh boy, this is more difficult than I expected. Come on. Yeah. Alright, this is the orange one and the Waldmeister one, the Master of the Woods. Alright, so we've got 3 flavors out of 4. Let's take another one. I hope that I don't have to open the entire packet for this. Is there something pinkish? No, this is the... It appears to, oh yeah, here we go. Alright, now we've got the... come on. We've got the raspberry, we've got the orange, we've got the lemon, and we've got the Master of the Woods right here. So I'll put the rest of this back into the freezer right after I've shown you the ingredients list and all that. I didn't do that. Pause if you want to read the ingredients list right here, and pause if you want to read the nutrition table right here, and pause if you want to scan this barcode. I'll be back with you in just a second. Alright, I'm back at the desk, slightly out of breath from running up and down the 2 flights of stairs. Yeah, all that ice cream, all those burgers, they do take their toll at some point. Okay, so let's see. Which one are we gonna try first? Let's go with the one that's got my favorite flavor, the Waldmeister, the Master of the Woods. The entire thing looks kind of boring. Now that it's been sitting outside for a few minutes, you can actually see all that water off the air freezing on the very surface of it. Bottom right here, that is still the regular color, not that milky whitey stuff. So first bite of the Ahoi-Brause surprise mix popsicles is going in. That is what it looks like when the tip is broken off. I'm quite jittery right now, see that? Bit embarrassing being jittery on camera. Taste-wise, it's alright. It's slightly sour, certainly more sour than you would expect from some sort of orangey ice cream, I think. But that is very much like these little pints of Ahoi-Brause ice cream that I tried out previously. Those were quite sour. This one here, it does remind me of those little soda packs. Now, what were the sherbet packs? Yeah, sherbet is, I think, the correct term for what they usually sell, the Ahoi-Brause guys. So yeah, this one was alright though. Let's go with another flavor, because this one is also orange. Let's go with the raspberry one. Yeah, that looks a bit more interesting. Yes, that flavor really reminds me of those little pints of ice cream that I had from them before. It really is the exact same sour, not strawberry, did I say strawberry? Raspberry flavor that I had previously. Very, very decent. Not too sour, just the right amount of sourness, I think. So what I'm going to do next is, I guess I have to bite off the entire thing up until this point, because I don't really want to bite in here. Or am I going to do that? I probably should do that. Let's be a bit adventurous. This is right here, the bite off area, the bitten off area, or what's left behind after it's been bitten off. This lower lemon part tastes very much, very much like the regular sherbet packs. A bit more sour, a bit better, I would even say. Quite interesting, yeah. Yeah. They're certainly keeping things in line when it comes to the flavor profiles that they've got here. So let's go for a bite off the side with the Master of the Woods as well. This is the remainder of the Master of the Woods ice. Yeah, very decent. It actually tastes, I would almost say, yeah, almost better than the regular Waldmeister sherbet packs. Waldmeister or Master of the Woods, whatever it's called where you live. That is really my favorite kind of flavored water flavor. There aren't really any sodas around here anymore that have got Waldmeister in them. Usually it's just alcoholic beverages nowadays, which is a bit unfortunate because I really like that stuff. But this one right here is quite alright. So, all of the flavors that we had up until this point, so we've had this, then we've had this, and we've had this, and we've had this. So far, so good. I think the most disappointing one is the orange one up until this point. Then comes the lemon stuff, then comes the raspberry stuff, and then comes the Waldmeister stuff. I think this is the best right now, at least, I think. So I'm going to finish these off now, and I'll be back with you in just a minute, or a second for you. The consumption process is complete, the popsicles lay bare in front of us, and the flavoured and coloured sugar water is currently warming up in my stomach. Therefore, we shall take a look at our rating sheet and give some points here or there. First impression wise, I think they look alright. I did have a bit of a problem with the far left one right here. The entire thing from the very top, from the raspberry stuff, is kind of, it was flowing down and wasn't looking too pretty, and overall they weren't as uniform as you would expect for rather simple water ices or water ice popsicles. I'm not entirely sure how that's being called in English. I definitely should look that up as the ice cream gecko. But I'll give, what do I give? I can't really give a full point because it didn't really look all that great. I give 0.75 points. Color-wise, when it comes to the color itself, they looked pretty good though. So yeah, not much to complain in that regard. Consistency and texture, now that's interesting. The consistency itself was a bit different than I expected. The actual ice was a lot softer than it usually is, or it definitely is when you make it yourself in the freezer at home. This was rather soft, also quite a bit softer than the what they call the Langnese Capris, or the Waltz, or the Street Capris, those yellow, popsicle ices that you can get rather cheap usually. Yeah, popular classics nowadays, they are quite decent. But these ones here were quite a bit softer, easier to bite off, and overall easier to consume. Yeah, texture, consistency-wise, I think they have been very decent indeed. Taste-wise, now that's a bit more difficult maybe. Now the Waldmeister down here, which is my kind of favorite flavor, like I said, that was maybe a bit too watery. Although I can understand that this is difficult to really reproduce as a rich flavor in a more solid state when you then melt it down in your mouth and all that. I guess it's a bit more difficult than something else. And the orange flavor, that was, yeah, a bit dull as well. The lemon was really good, and the raspberry, I almost said strawberry again. The raspberry, that was quite sour, but quite rich, and I did really enjoy that. So I think I'll give 3.5 points overall. I just wish that the Waldmeister would be a bit more dominant, maybe. That would be really nice. Theme realization wise, also 1 point. It's basically their standard range of flavors that they put onto a popsicle in frozen form, and therefore I think they pretty much nailed that theme. There isn't much more to it, and it is a surprise pack, like they say on the box. You don't really get to see what you're going to get in this particular wrapper before you open it up, which is a bit interesting, maybe a bit annoying sometimes, but I guess this is supposed to be a bit of a party piece for children, so I guess it's fun. But all those tradings with all those halfway licked popsicles, would be a nightmare for any parent, I would assume. Anyway, 8.25 points out of 10 is the final rating, and I think this is where we can end this. If you've got a question or a video suggestion, leave it in the comment section down below. And if you want to see more videos just like this one, please subscribe. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope I'm going to see you soon. Until then, bye bye.